Okay, so let's get right into what you need to know. You probably heard some crazy things such as people with addictions are weak-willed, or that they have terrible genetics, or that once you have an addiction you'll never be able to get rid of it. You may have also heard that everyone relapses, and if you do, you'll have to start all over again at square one. You may have also been told that all you need to do is just complete some steps and then graduate from a program so that you can be cured. Scientific evidence goes against all of these things, and this type of thinking is what holds you back from actually breaking free from addictions forever. You see, with most of these common rehab programs, you have to complete some steps, count your days of sobriety, and then you graduate. Once you graduate, they tell you that you're cured. You no longer have to worry about your addictions. You can now move on with your life, they say. The truth is that these rehabs also have the highest recidivism rate. Relapse after relapse and failure after repeated failure is built into the system. And these terrible success rates are being recognized on a national level. The data speaks for itself. Relapse can be a part of recovery, not an end to it. Now I'll get to the solution I told you about. This method I speak of has been scientifically proven to decrease problem behavior, decrease intrusive thoughts and cravings, and rewire your brain out of destructive habit loops. This method has also been shown to dramatically improve behavior and decision making. But I gotta tell you that this method is not advertised. It would probably put all those expensive rehabs out of business because you can't make money off of it. It is something that everyone and anyone can do. Certain mindfulness cognitive therapy techniques have been shown to train your brain and rewire your brain, and tons of research backs this up. You see, it uses what is called the non-reactivity principle. Now, most people, when they have a craving or an intrusive thought, they try to suppress it or fight it. Research shows that this actually strengthens the craving because these cravings come from a part of the brain that is very powerful. And when people have these cravings, they may think that they're a bad person or weak-willed. This isn't true at all. This makes matters worse. Instead, the non-reactivity principle teaches us just to observe those cravings as you have them. Just acknowledge them. And if you do as I show you, you will find that they will start to leave quickly. They will lessen in intensity, and you will find you'll have greater cognitive control. This is typical results, and this method has been backed up by solid research. In a sense, using mindfulness techniques gives you a third-person perspective, and instead of reacting aggressively to these cravings, trying to suppress them or fight them or get them out of your head, you allow them to pass by simply acknowledging them and refocusing your attention. This method has not only helped thousands of people, but it has been backed up by tons of research. And what's better is that the effects of using these techniques are long-term. Your brain will automatically start to redirect attention, and it will become easier and easier to do. Scientists refer to the brain as a team of rivals, because the brain is a multiple structured system in which different structures fight against each other for dominance. And in order for the brain to operate properly, it must be at balance. To put this into perspective, there are essentially two parts of the brain, the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. The prefrontal cortex is a higher functioning part of the brain, which is rational and logical, and it understands consequences. But the limbic system, however, is a primitive brain. It has no ability to delay gratification. It is pleasure-oriented and selfish. It is concerned with seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. The limbic system is also called the reward system because it is responsible for making us feel good by releasing feel-good chemicals in the brain. Drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography, and even eating activate this reward system in the brain. And from an evolutionary standpoint, this reward system goes back 600 million years before rational thought. This reward system was found in anthropoids, invertebrate phyla, and mollusks. This is because the limbic system is also very necessary for survival. Our ancient ancestors were able to survive because they were rewarded through their behaviors such as eating and sex. But today, our brains aren't designed to deal with ready-to-access rewards. Drugs, pornography, and other addictions overstimulate this reward system. Addictions, whatever they may be, are hardwired as a survival process. It has become a part of life just as eating or sleeping. But there is another scientifically proven technique that has been shown to reverse this wiring of the brain. And included in the Truth of Addiction program, there is a video that explains step by step how to do it. You see, the brain is extremely malleable. It can be changed, formed, remapped, and rewired. Scientists call the brain's ability to change as neuroplasticity. Neurons, which are cells in the brain, are not entirely connected. When we have repetitive thoughts or behaviors, neural pathways or networks are created. These pathways are created by neurons firing or sending a signal to each other. These neurons that fire together wire together. But it's also true that when neurons stop firing together, the connections between them become weak and a whole new set of thought patterns and behaviors can be created. Through the neural firing, behaviors are either strengthened or weakened. You see, medications or pills only temporarily change the brain's chemistry. It doesn't change the neural pathways. And this temporary chemical change only lasts as long as the medication is synthesized to last. It is never permanent. You'll always have to take another pill or another drink or another smoke to make you feel better. But when we change our neural pathways, our brain chemistry changes along with it. And this can be a permanent change. There are over 100 supporting references found in this guide. Some references from published medical journals, controlled trials, and surveys. You also get your own videos showing you the most effective methods to decrease intrusive thoughts and cravings and to help you manage your addictions long term. You'll also get the printable guide, Nutrients for Improved Recovery. Now listen to this. According to a study, addicts that were given certain nutrients showed a 92% success rate. I mean, that's huge compared to the basic 12-step programs out there. But not only that, people that use certain nutrients in their diet were able to recover more quickly, had fewer withdrawal symptoms, and were able to manage their addictions long term. And the reason that using certain nutrients is so successful is because it can restore the biochemical imbalances in the body that are caused by addiction, no matter what the addiction is. Because all addiction problems are essentially the same. They are all chemically based in the brain. In one study, rats were given the option of choosing a bowl of water or a bowl of alcohol. When the rats had certain nutrients in their diet, they didn't touch the alcohol. But when they lacked certain nutrients, the animals chose alcohol over the water. As soon as nutrients were restored to the animals, they avoided the alcohol completely. Researchers were able to shift the consumption of the alcohol over the water by the deliberate increase or decrease of certain nutrients in their diet. Humans act the same way. Addictions, no matter what kind, cause depleted and malfunctioning neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters, by the way, are chemicals in the brain. Addiction throws off this normal neurotransmitter activity. This is why we have strong cravings for things that aren't necessarily good for us. We crave junk food or a boost of dopamine through alcohol, cigarettes, or pornography. But this imbalance can be restored through certain nutrients because the body synthesizes neurotransmitters from nutrients. Now, doesn't that finally make sense? Now, in the printable Nutrition for Improved Recovery guide and video, I will show you certain foods and nutrients that restore these depleted and malfunctioning neurotransmitters. Now, I am the creator and author of this program that is extensively backed up by scientific data and research. And I am not some random guy who doesn't know what addiction is like. I want to tell you that I struggled with addictions myself. In fact, I went to my first rehab when I was 17 years old. I've attended AA, and I've also had part of my mouth removed because of the damage that was caused by years of chewing tobacco. And I can honestly tell you that I have managed my addictions to the point where I no longer desire them, and thousands of others have done the same. I literally went from an addict to an academic, and it was by using evidence-based and data-driven methods. This is probably the only complete evidence-based and data-driven system out there. This program has hundreds of supporting references. I mean, you can take a look at all this scientific research. People's lives have changed from using this program. Now, what's really great about this is that you do not have to wait to receive the Truth of Addiction system. In fact, you can have this complete program in seconds because nothing is shipped to you. It is instantly downloadable. You can even put the audio training techniques on your iPod and listen to them whenever you want. For a limited time, you get the ebook, the training materials, the cognitive therapy training audio set, the video, the mindfulness audio training, the nutrition for improved recovery ebook and videos, and a lifetime of updates and upgrades.